all looking forward to the day ahead. Still a few hours to go, but the streets are pretty packed with... Oh, dear. Some people will do anything to get on the television. In fact, I'll tell you what, it makes one feel like bursting into verse.
It still isn't it the most savoured trophy in football.
We've scored a goal.
It's in! It's there!
There's many a one who'd be idle if the biting hunger for that sweet taste of victory didn't conspire to raise expectation to within an inch of the Artex on the average dreamer's ceiling, where footballs ricochet in the memory along roads we didn't take and off doors we didn't open. Cardiff.
We got a glimpse there of the famous old trophy, didn't we?
So you slowly discharge yourself from a stable condition, out the right side of the bed to Stevie Wonder's Superstition.
Very superstitious.
Get stuck into the bran flakes, 7 cups of tea, then off to the bathroom.
Abide with me.
With your Brine Island lucky pants steeped in folklore, responsible for every win since 1974, your rabbit's foot inner soles, your sprigs of lucky heather, and a Sainsbury's bag to put on your head in case of inclement weather. Boys, noise and inflatable toys on the road to glory.
Yours are Ivan.
Anecdotes, footnotes and the elaborate jackanory. Full-on celebration as your colours are flown. Then a politician's U-turn.
You've left the tickets at home. What? Wicker. What? Whoa.
But straight from the restart, you fall back into the groove with remixed classics from yesteryear like
We shall not
be moved. While space hopper bladders require a master tactician, as once again you're caught offside in a promising position. To the edge of the killing fields, unable to relax, with tension and bravado, that common double act. Then into the auditorium to take up your seat for this, the one-off drama starring victory and defeat. Dressed up, fired up, made up and messed up, all inside the first 60 seconds. Ornamental, ironic, temperamental, harmonic. Square up as the finger of fortune beckons. To celebrate or lament, to dance like your dad at a wedding, to bring on the Trojan horse or invest in official club bedding, to hug the big bloke behind you, to become a loudmouth prat, to cry yourself a small river, to wear a court jester's hat. To be or not to be, that is the question. To believe or not to believe in the power of suggestion.
What a final! Just look at the people.
And those oh-so special occasions, the ones that live forever, the Wembley assemblies and the tales from Wales. With 11 men, we'll forget never. Do we forget to remember or remember to forget when the dreams we buy into are broken by 11 blokes we've never met?
And he has here made a little piece of FA Cup history.
Keith Wilson, the poet there. Now, this year marks the 50th anniversary of arguably the greatest cup final of them all.
It was more than half a lifetime ago, a year that has never seen its like since, a young queen was crowned. Everest, an unconquerable mountain, was tamed. Gordon Richards rode the winner of the Epsom Derby. And there was the Matthews final.
When you're winning 3-1 and about 17 minutes to go, I'm not saying we were confident or we were slap happy, but I thought we had a good chance of at least winning the game, but unfortunately, Stanley thought different.
Bolton Wanderers versus Blackpool, Lancashire neighbours on a day out in the capital, with a sense that history might be in the making. Stanley Matthews, who'd won everything bar an FA Cup medal, had a date with destiny. Not to mention a new audience.
I was very popular as a 10-year-old in our street because we was maybe the first to have a television, and it was one of these 9-inch televisions, and all my pals were around to watch the cup final. It was just amazing.
The first sensation of a sensational cup final came in the first minute. The ball comes into centre-forward Lofthouse, who shoots from long range and beats far.
1-0 down right at the start. The thought that history might not be made was still being digested when Blackpool equalised through their other Stanley, Stan Mortensen. It didn't last. 1-1 became 2-1, and then 3-1 thanks to Eric Bell, an injured left half, limping on the wing.
Well, I don't think you ever feel that the game is safe if you're playing the game, but I did think we had a good chance of winning. But unfortunately, the opposing side, Blackpool, had a certain man called Mr. Matthews.
Matthews was already 38, but a man to whom age had no meaning. A meticulous trainer, Stan was far from ready to be called a veteran. Rather, he was a legend, a right-winger of unique gifts, not least the ability to change a game.
Well, the thing that tipped it really was the fact that Stan Matthews had crossed the ball from the wing, and Stan Hansen, the goalkeeper for Bolton Wanderers, actually parried it. He jumped up, caught it, and dropped it, unfortunately, and Stan Mortensen happened to be nearby. And he actually just stuck his foot out and just managed to get it over the line. And I think that was the turning point, because all we needed in that last half hour was another goal to put us on even terms.
And a free kick for Blackpool, just on the edge of the penalty area. By our watch, 2.5 minutes to go. Bolton 3, Blackpool 2.
Morty's free kick, of course, was the thing that we appreciated so much, because it was in the same sort of distance that Beckham scores now. It was a tremendous free kick. Of course, that put us on even terms.
Surely it must be a draw.
We thought it was going to extra time, of course. My stomach still turns over when I think about it. It's very emotional. It was not just a game, it was very emotional.
There's the man who's really fighting for his cup medal. Could he score the winning goal now?
Stanley had the same trick virtually, and everyone knew that trick. They still couldn't stop him, you know. He just feinted, stepped, touched the ball, just jigged and jigged. And they bought that dummy every time, and always had a great delivery on the cross.
The last goal was created by Stan as well, because he'd worked his way right up the line, beat Banks, and he ended up at the byline and crossed it back along the ground. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
It's there! Henry!
When I saw the net bulge, you know, and we'd got the winning goal, of course, that made such a tremendous difference. And I ran to Stan, of course, and thanked him for the cross. But not only that, the fact that we'd won the game was more important than anything else. And it's a memory, something I'd never forget.
So history was made. Every other honour that football could offer already adorned Stanley Matthews' record. Twice he'd been up for the consolation of a loser's medal, but now the collection was complete. What's more, it had been achieved in front of 100,000 spectators by a man of innate modesty.
As a matter of fact, I'm just breathless.
There I am, just trying to poke my head between Stanley Matthews and Stanley Mortensen at the end of the game. Must have been a great moment for Stanley Matthews. Third time lucky, and the one honour that he hadn't received in his career. So that put the icing on the cake.
I'm told that by one or two people that I was the match winner. As a matter of fact, I don't believe that, for the simple reason we have here 11 match winners.
He was 10 years ahead of his time then. I mean, it made me feel very thankful that we had someone like him in our team. Tremendous memories.
To come back from that situation, I mean, everyone was just bewildered and thought it was just amazing, dramatic television.
There was only one man in the world that could have done that, and that was Stan Matthews.
It's every schoolboy's dream of scoring a winning goal in the cup final.
How would he feel? He'd say, that was a great day. That was a great day.
Gerald Sinstadt reporting there, and I know that the 6 surviving members of the Bolton team from that cup final are enjoying a reunion lunch today. Gentlemen, have one for me. Now, our next guest is no one else but Sir Bobby Robson. Bobby, it's great to see you again. How are you? You well?
I'm very well.
Is that
finished third, so we've had a good season.
You've had a great season, Champions League again. Is that a cup final you can remember?
Yes, I can. It was a comeback day, wasn't it? Matthews was absolutely outstanding, and Mortensen hit a screamer on a free kick. Bolton played very well and got nothing.
You're guest of honour today. You're presenting the cup.
I am. I'm very flattered, Gary. I'm very privileged. I can't believe it, to be honest, but I'm very proud of it, and it's really a proudness that I respect.
Yeah, and you'll be doing it indoors as well, so there's no chance of you getting wet.
That's right.
So that's good. What do you make of playing indoors?
Only once I did it when I was in Holland, and PSV played Vitesse Arnhem. They had a similar situation, and a bit musty.
Yeah.
Players like the fresh air to take in the oxygen, as you know, but at least we're not going to get wet. It protects the wind, any wind value. It commands the atmosphere, and the passion is always inside. It doesn't escape. So I think we'll have a great atmosphere here today, and I'm sure it'll be a good football match.
Terrific atmosphere as well when you won the cup 20-odd years ago. Hang on a minute. Just have a little look at this.
We can command the ball and we dictate the game, we have a chance.
Look, that is incredible. He's done it twice. Osborne 1-0.
It's the best feeling, I think, in all the world.
You're quite a mover, Bobby, weren't you, in those days? You still do a bit of that.
I could dance.
Great memories.
Wonderful. It's a great day here, but if you win, it's the greatest day of your life. I've been around, and I think to win the FA Cup is just a supreme moment. It's enjoyed by everyone.
And what was the secret of that year?
We had good team morale. We had a better team than people thought we had. We were underdogs, 5-2 against in the betting field. We really fancied it because we knew we had a better team than most people thought. We had a difficult year in the league. We had a lot of injuries, but when it came to the cup ties, we could always play our best side. And we had some very good players, Mariner and Mills and Talbot, and
But an unlikely goal scorer.
Yes, but if anybody in my side wanted anybody to score a goal, to win a match, everybody would have chosen Roger Osborne. Local guy, came from Ipswich, local hero.
It was all a bit too much for him, wasn't it, I remember, after he scored. Didn't you have to take him off?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't fatigued, he was just emotionally exhausted.
Yeah.
He didn't know what had happened to him. he just lost all energy, and the whole thing drained him, it sapped his life. He just collapsed. We had to take him off.
Similarities, I suppose, with today's cup final. You got an underdog. Do you see Southampton having a chance today? Or?
Oh, undoubtedly. Gary, it's one game, and anything can happen in one game. It can be a referee's decision. It can be a stunning shot. It can be a mistake. It can be a clever goal. Can you hold your nerve? Can you cope with the situation? Can you settle into your rhythm early on and dictate the game? It's all about all those things. Both sides have those sort of players.
Good side, Arsenal, though.
Terrific side. I mean, they looked as though they were going to win the league almost right. Well, it was.
Until the last few weeks.
Almost to the end. Played brilliant football, got some real talent up front, Perez and Honoré, Will Todd, Lundberg can score goals. They missed, obviously, the driver, Vieira. Don't quite know what their defence will be today, but Southampton have a chance.
Well, Sir Bobby, enjoy your day. Don't drop the cup.
I'll try not to.
I'm sure you will. It's always a pleasure. Thanks very much for joining us.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
We'll have more cup final nostalgia for you shortly, but for now we're going to look back at more recent FA Cup history and the drama of this season's competition. And where there hasn't been drama, we've made it up.
The following takes place between round 1 and round 3 of this season's FA Cup.
Yep.
Hello, Jack. Listen, it's Motty here. We've got a real problem, old son.
What kind of problem?
Well, someone's stolen the FA Cup, apparently, and if they don't get it back, there's talk of them cancelling the final.
Sounds serious. How can I help?
Well, we're busy decoding the Cup's tracking device. Things at the moment look a little bit vague, but it looks like the Cup is somewhere in the northwest of England.
I'm on my way. Fill me in.
Well, back in November, the first round threw up several headlines, including Team Bath. They became the first student side to compete in the competition for something like, well, it was actually 122 years.
It's Christie! Oh, he makes it fall! Given away. Heiniger. Heiniger! Oh, and he scored! Carl Heiniger for Team Bath! Scored one, has he scored two? He has! That's a really good ball by Whitehall. Showed really good vision, chance for Chris Lane. It's all over now.
Even the penalties summed it up. I had 8 players wanting the penalties. I had to tell 3 they couldn't take them rather than trying to find 3.
Yeah.
Jack, there's a car parked across the street for you to use. It's got everything you need inside, including a phone for you to contact me on.
Before I go, what happened to Vauxhall Motors? Did they make it through the second round?
I'm afraid they didn't, Jack. Now, will you get moving, please?
Damn!
Quickly taken. Here's Tipton. Tipton does well. Can he pull it back? He can, and it's there. It's Lightbourne. The resistance has been broken.
Arsenal.
We'll play number 59.
Oxford United.
Yep.
Now listen, I'm sending you an image of one of the key suspects here. His name is Nigel Jemson, and he's this year's top scorer in the FA Cup.
Oh yeah, that guy. The one that knocked out Everton. Reckons he's some kind of hot shot, does he?
Well, maybe he does, but keep an eye out for Lee Holmes. He became the youngest ever player in the history of the Cup, aged 15 years, 277 days. Sadly, it was his only Cup appearance because Derby County lost to second division Brentford.
Well played, Alexanderson! It's one apiece. Atkins joining the ranks forward. Wilding is there as well. And it's got it! And it's Jemson again!
I'm the only one at the football club that wanted us to win. I think they wanted a draw, go back to Goodison. But I wanted to win. I've been a winner all my life, so why not?
You scored a winning goal at Wembley in a League Cup final, so how does this compare?
I can't remember that far back, to be honest.
Kennedy with the cross. Back by Butler. To Ince! Back by Cameron. Here's Mark Kennedy arriving at pace. Good run, Bellamy. Shearer, blocked. Jenas. Now Murray to face Shearer from the penalty spot. Who scores? Played back by Miller. Whipped in by Kennedy. Newton. And oh, yes!
I think we completely wasted 45 minutes of football in the first half. But we've gone. It's history. The FA Cup for us now is history.
Oh, the touch was by BT. Joe Chesham coming in. And Southampton go 2-0. Now then, Anders Svensson's got BT to his left. He's got Chesham down the middle. He's got Fernandes on this side. It's still Anders Svensson. He goes all the way. It's 3-0 Southampton.
Bergkamp this time.
Yes! Effort to Terry. Great one-touch football. Channy's cross. Oh, what a superb goal! Junior McDougall and Dagenham are into the 4th round of the FA Cup. Surely now.
Where could this be leading? Well, I can tell you, I don't know what it's like where you are, but here it's pretty miserable in Cardiff. It's been pouring with rain most of the morning, and that is the reason that for the first time ever the cup final will be played indoors, and you can see that it's taken an hour or so, but it is now very much a closed roof. With just over 2 hours to go to kick-off, the fans are streaming in through the turnstiles. That'll be the Arsenal end. There you go, check the ticket, he's in. Now, as usual, there's no shortage of familiar faces at the cup final. Normally you find them in the bar, so that's where we've sent Dermot O'Leary.
Yes, indeed, Gary. Welcome to the Star, but otherwise known as Hospitality, otherwise known as Unashamed Ligging. Hello. Joined first by Roger Black, Pete Devereux from the Artful Dodge, and Neil Morrissey, who weirdly supports Crystal Palace, but we're loving the fact he's here.
I'm here largely because of the free lager, yeah. And also, you know, there's plenty of celebs around here to go and schmooze.
Lovely. Okay. Roger, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We start with you, Roger. Yeah. 26 years ago, were you there?
27 years ago, I wasn't there. I was 10 years old, 1976, and one of the greatest days of my life. I was watching it on telly, and I was running in and out of the room, and on the 83rd minute, Bobby Stokes, what a hero. And my life has never been the same since, and here we are again.
Could you do like a windmill McShannon for us? Yeah? Absolutely. Wonderful. That's talent. Were you ever tempted to, you know, you're obviously very fit, so were you ever tempted to give it?
Skill, had the speed, no skill. So I'm just a fan, just watch, and that's it really.
Okay. Now, James Beattie, you're a big fan of his, and you did, loving that. So you weren't outside when the roof was getting retracted then, obviously. So you know James quite well, don't you?
I do. Yeah, everyone's up for it. That's the good thing. I think with Strachan, he's just he hasn't really sort of waved the magic wand. He's just got them fit and got them believing. And they come in here today and they think, well, we can actually win this game. And I think that's what it boils down to. So Beattie's up for it.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Beattie, who do you think your match winners are today?
Well, the great story would be Chris Marsden, wouldn't it? He's been around for so long, a bit of a journeyman, and he's been great for us, hasn't he?
Definitely. And I think whoever controls, if we control Henry, we'll win. If they control Beattie, I mean, there's more to it over the pitch, but I think, and Henry's never played well here, and he won't today.
Yeah, right. Okay.
You haven't mentioned 6-1 yet.
And I'm being as diplomatic as I possibly can. Neil,
he's got an Arsenal tie on.
You live up the road from Arsenal, right? So therefore you're supporting Arsenal today?
I suppose I'm going to have to give a shout. If I shout for anyone today, it's going to have to be the Gooners, only because I could practically spit on their ground, which I often do. When I'm walking past, that's my phone going. I hope it's not my mother. Yeah, so I suppose I've got to go with them today. But isn't it sweet to hear the boys how they talk about the possible Southampton victory today, especially after after the dress rehearsal. After the 6-1 dress rehearsal.
Yeah, but surely you're a neutral. All neutrals around the country are supporting the Saints today. I'm being baited.
We leave the argument there, and the way it's going to be passed out by 3 o'clock anyway. More from us later on, but right now, back to Gary.
Roger Black, quick with no skill. Sounds like me. Now, 30 years ago, those of us who are old enough witnessed possibly the greatest cup final in history.
The Roker Lighthouse has been saving vessels from shipwreck since 1903. In 1973, I made a crucial double save that helped Sunderland win the FA Cup. I still don't know how I did it.
20 minutes of the second half gone. The second division side lead 1-0, and Hunter now for Leeds. Giles. Jones. Marini. Leeds are really pushing forward. Terry, brilliant save, and Lorimer makes it 1-each. No. Astonishing.
It was instinct, wasn't it? I mean, it was just instinct.
Because once you hit the deck, if you stay in the deck, then you've got no chance for the second one. So,
no.
You know, you see you go into a white shirt, not knowing who it was.
Yeah.
And then you just get up and,
That's
you know,
right.
then you deal with the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was all it was.
Yeah.
It's just a goalkeeper's instinct, really.
In fact, somebody said on the pitch, you know, it's your cup.
Yeah.
I think Norman Hunter said
Norman Hunter said
somebody.
it to somebody, that's right. Yeah.
Because of that double save.
And so they emerge into the daylight of Wembley Stadium.
It was a blaze of red and white. We were the team that everyone wanted to win.
Yeah.
Of course, Leeds had a fantastic team, all internationals. Arguably, at that time, were probably the best team in Europe. I think 3 or 4 days later, they went and played in the European Cup, didn't they?
That's right, yeah.
I think things went for us that day. You know, a number of things, and we came out as winners.
Porterfield! 1-0 after 32 minutes for second division Sunderland.
Ian Porterfield scored the goal, and I thought to myself, if we keep a clean sheet now, then we've won the cup.
One thing that Leeds got wrong was they didn't realise that we had good players as well.
And Sunderland have won the cup from the second division. Bob Stokoe, the first to congratulate Montgomery, who, along with David Watson there, did so well in the second half against the Leeds attack. What a moment in football.
Relief, actually, after we won is incredible, isn't it?
Drained, isn't it? I mean,
you know, it drains out your body. You know, it's absolutely fantastic.
30 years, eh? This is what I remember most about.
Yeah.
As I go along here, I forget my medal. I'm not even looking at the stairs, and I'm on the deck.
By the time we'd come back to the stadium on the bus, you know, there's you know, 1 million people there. I think it's meant so much to the city ever since then.
It was definitely one of the biggest shocks in cup final history. Right, back to today's cup final and our profile of the Arsenal manager. Damien Johnson has been checking out the colours of Arsene's roots.
Arsene Wenger's Arsenal may have surrendered the title to Sir Alex Ferguson and Manchester United, but the impact that Wenger's had down here at Highbury shouldn't be underestimated. Consider Wenger's record, 2 League and FA Cup doubles, and whisper it, but they've played with a kind of panache that you usually associate with their North London rivals, Tottenham.
This would be even more of a fairy tale. Tony Adams!
So as Arsenal prepare for their 3rd FA Cup final in a row, what do supporters really know about the Euro-sophisticate manager who can speak 5 languages and has a degree in economics? Where was he born?
France, I suppose.
Germany, I think.
I think he's Swedish. He's Swedish, isn't he? No.
Strasbourg.
Nearly. The story of Arsene Wenger's football career began 45 years ago in the small town of Dutlenheim near Strasbourg, where the young Wenger was introduced to the game that was to become a lifetime passion by his father, Alphonse.
Ici, il est comme né, mais ensuite il a joué comme cadet, hein, et quand il était junior, il a tout de suite joué dans l'équipe première. Il avait commencé la médecine, hein, ça ne lui a pas plu. Hein. Mais ensuite, il a fait sciences économie, bon. Là, il a terminé, oui, mais il avait toujours le football en tête. Hein.
Arsène, déjà, point de vue footballeur, il était bien, seulement feignant et intelligent. Mais ça veut dire, pour courir, il n'était pas un des premiers. Hein. C'était à la traîne ou au milieu de terrain et discuter avec les gens. Donc, mais sinon, Arsène, c'était vraiment le patron de l'équipe, comme on disait un petit peu.
Who did he play for then? There's one for you.
He did play for Strasbourg.
After Vauban, Wenger played for a succession of amateur clubs in the region. Then came the move to the big city. At the age of 30, he finally got his chance in the French First Division with Racing Strasbourg under coach Gilbert Gress.
C'est ainsi qu'on a demandé à Arsène de venir au Racing. Ce n'était pas chose facile à l'époque, parce que Arsène était assez en vue sur le plan amateur en Alsace. Quand Arsène est arrivé, il devait surtout encadrer les jeunes. Et comme nous, en équipe professionnelle, on avait un effectif assez réduit et qu'on jouait le championnat de France, la Coupe de France et la Coupe d'Europe, à un moment donné, on a eu quelques problèmes de blessures. Alors j'ai dû faire appel à Arsène et c'est ainsi qu'il a fait quelques matchs en équipe professionnelle. Ce n'était pas prévu au départ, mais il a rempli parfaitement son contrat.
Wenger landed his first senior coaching role in 1988 at Monaco. He'd never been the greatest footballer and had retired after just 10 appearances at Strasbourg. He continued his coaching apprenticeship at Cannes and Nancy before the move to the Principality.
I meted him straight away. Very impressed with the man as a person, and I think his knowledge of the game as well impressed me for such a young man.
Et puis il est venu à Monaco pendant 7 ans où il a fait un très grand travail. On a été champion de France, on a gagné la coupe. Si vous voulez, Monaco a vécu une ère nouvelle avec l'arrivée d'Arsène Wenger.
He was prepared to open himself to players, to draw on their knowledge and their information. And I think that's where he's successful. I think a lot of coaches, you know, they have an idea and they go with that idea and they don't draw on the experience of senior pros. I think he was a master of that. I think he had to be at that age as well, you know, because he hadn't achieved a lot in the game. I mean, the criticism he got when he went away from Monaco down to Japan. Why on earth go down there? He'd been successful at Monaco, but I think he knew his course.
From the time he got there, he, in his calm, sort of studious way, managed to turn them around, improved every player. His knowledge from a greater standard of football abroad, but linking that into the Japanese mentality, and I think probably that was his greatest achievement, how he married those two things together.
I suddenly saw a shining light up in the sky. I thought, goodness me, Arsène for Arsenal.
When Wenger took in a match at Highbury on a visit to London in the late 1980s, he met Arsenal vice-chairman David Dean. A bond was formed that would one day become a successful football partnership.
I actually discussed it with the board and they thought, well, maybe it was too much of a risk. And in the end, we took on Bruce Rioch for the season. And then when that didn't work out, I thought it was a bit more forceful second time round. I said to the board, you know, this guy is a bit special. I said, I think I would stake my reputation on him. I think we should take him on.
Was it a gamble? Because, I mean, people here didn't know him. He was completely unknown.
No, absolutely. In fact, the day we actually was unveiled at the press conference, the headlines was Arsène Who.
It didn't stay Arsène Who for long. The Frenchman turned the club upside down and won the double in his first full season in charge.
It's a total revolution in quality of football and culture. I mean, there was a drinking culture at the club, let's be very clear about it. So today, the players are more conscious than ever before about what they eat, how they behave, what they do, where they go. They have to be truly professional. And the older boys, if you ask Tony Adams and Martin Keown and David Seaman, he's actually prolonged their careers by the fact that they now realise they have to look after their bodies.
Can't help but want to play football for him. And I think that's the key to it. People like him and they like playing for him. He doesn't rant and rave, he doesn't throw teacups around, he gets his point over in a concise manner that you understand. And I think that's the key to it all. He's genuinely a nice person that wants to win.
He's also got this eye for spotting a player who's perhaps not fancied elsewhere, but he can bring out the best in them.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, the fact that when he brought in Patrick Vieira, nobody really heard of Patrick Vieira. And the same with, you know, Manu Petit, and he brought in Anelka and others who came in one after the other. I mean, you look at Thierry Henry, he was a out and out left winger at Juventus and going out on loan to Brescia or somewhere, and he was actually discarded by Juventus. And now he's made him into what he is, you know, today. And here this season, he has won the PFA Award, the Sports Writers Award.
It's a tremendous individual goal!
Just wanted to say something about Arsene Wenger, because without him, I wouldn't have been playing for Arsenal or being here, because when I first arrived, a lot of people were doubting, you know, my ability, and without Arsene having a lot of confidence in me, I wouldn't have been here tonight. So I just owe him a lot.
He's got a very good sense of humour. Only the other day he was at a charity, an NSPCC charity with Jacques Houllier, and the first question that was asked, well, Arsene, tell me about your footballing career. And he said, you know, quite modestly, well, I was the best. And there was a pause. He said, in my village. And he said, and it was a pretty small village.
Arsenal for the cup!
Good luck, son.
Like father, like son, neither of them seem to watch the action on the pitch. But our latest guests, Mark Lawrenson and Trevor Brooking, two BBC stalwarts, but now, of course, a manager, Trevor.
Only 3 weeks.
Manager of the month. I'll come to that in a moment. Quick line on Arsene Wenger. A fantastic job. Needs a trophy, though, this season?
Well, they'd expect to have a trophy with the players that they've got, the depth of the squad and the quality. And I think just listening to David Dean there, when he considered that, you know, bought and sold Anelka, Overmars, Petit, got another team, he's done an absolutely magnificent job. But yes, they need to win today, certainly.
Will they, Trevor?
I think you've got to make them favourite. We all know on one-offs you've got a chance. With BT, he's had a fantastic run. And they're capable of scoring. I think, you know, it was a bit of a shock, even though the dress rehearsal, both sides were weak, and to lose 6-1 psychologically was a bit of a blow. Perez is a worry for them because he got a hat-trick that day. And Henry that night, he didn't score, he was unstoppable. I mean, he can be in the mood where you just can't stop him, and they've rediscovered their form now. You know, the one at Sunderland last weekend. I just think they'll have too much quality, but Southampton on a one-off could do it.
Contrasting sort of characters, the two managers today, Mark. Strachan.
Well, I mean, the thing with Gordon Strachan, what you see is what you get, isn't there? There's no doubt about that. Kicks every ball, goes into every tackle. He seems to be an extremely good motivator along the Trevor Brooking lines, I would have thought, Gary. And with Arsene, instead of sort of taking a step forward, it's a step back. He takes everything in. I think also, and when you speak about Arsenal, and it's a management duo for me, because I think Pat Rice as well plays a big part with the two of them. It's sort of good cop, bad cop, but both outstanding managers. I think Wenger's done a sensational job since he's been in this country.
Trevor, I must ask about yourself. You, I mean, as Mark said, you look a bit like Strachan, cross between Strachan and Martin O'Neill, I felt. But what was that all about? I mean, we've never seen that. We've seen you jump up the odd West Ham goal, but not like that. It was a bit different.
No, it was different. I mean, funny, I had a joke with Bobby Robson.
Look, we've got a few pictures of these. There you go, look. There you go.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
They'd won the toss that day, Gary.
Yeah, match hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
But
fantastic stuff.
No, it was a fascinating 3 weeks. I said to Bobby Robson when he came out after you interviewed him, I mean, you know, mine was 3 weeks. So the thought of him doing it as long as he has done, because it is totally different, and you get consumed because if you manage all week, Gordon Strachan, he want to come here. It's not a day out, because for Southampton, you know, it's a great occasion for them. They've got to the final. But when you get in now, and you're thinking, well, how do you stop Arsenal's strengths, and how do you try and, you know, play to yours? Whereas, you know, when we're up here, you're looking at things, but you're not. It totally consumes your thoughts.
You a little bit of a thing about going into it?
No, 3 weeks is great. I mean, fortunately, Glenn.
Definitely not ever.
No.
You're the only one who's got Di Canio to play away for the first thing, and he scored, by the way.
My mate Paolo, we finished on a decent note, and hopefully the fans, you know, will stay loyal with us, and we'll try and get off to a good start next season. But you know, Glenn's had his surgery and it's gone well, and so now we hope he's going to recuperate and be ready for the start of the season.
I must ask you, how's Glenn Roeder?
Yeah, he all went well yesterday, so you know, it's now a recuperation period. Hopefully by June he'll be out in 7 to 10 days, and then should for the next month be, you know, recovering, and we'll see if we can then start for pre-season.
Are you in charge now till June still then?
No, I resigned on Monday. No, I'm wearing my boardroom hat with the MD, Paul Aldridge. Obviously, there's issues with players.
And agents, you get very upset with them?
Very upset with agents, yes. And, you know, I think we dealt with that one. And, Jermaine will hopefully stay with us.
And the rest of the players as well. Trevor, thanks very much for joining us. We'll hear from you later as co-commentator.
Yes, Mr.
Mark, you can stay there for a little while if you don't mind. Right, more now from our BBC drama department.
Previously in the FA Cup.
Someone's stolen the FA Cup, apparently, and if they don't get it back, there's talk of them cancelling the final.
Whipped in by Kennedy, Newton, and oh, yes!
It's Jepson!
The following takes place between round 4 and round 5 of this season's FA Cup.
OK, I'm in the northwest, Old Trafford, where United stuffed West Ham in the 4th round. What next?
I commentated on that game, you know, Jack. I nearly lost count at one point, but more importantly, I think we've made a major breakthrough because the tracking signal has been narrowed down to the northwest, to Southport area, in fact. I wondered if you could get across to the golf course there, because one of my agents can then help you out. Turned on it. Giggs to his left, Van Nistelrooy! Finishing of the very highest order by Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer looking to make it 6. Right on cue, thank you.
This is Holt. That's nice. Adam Drury inside the penalty area. The shot deflected. Oh, and it's in! And in the 90th minute, Norwich have won the tie, and that is cruel indeed.
What can we say? You know, it's an hard blow, I think, the timing of it. I think the deflection was cruel to us, and we've, you know, gone out the cup in the 90th minute.
Everyone's tried playing 4-1-4-1. Everyone's tried playing with a sweeper. Everyone's tried everything. But they ain't ever played against the side from the 1930s that plays football the old way. That plays football as it used to be played. They ain't had that problem. So because they haven't had that problem, we're going to give it to them.
Oh, and it's Sol Campbell who gives Arsenal the lead. Beautifully done. Lauren. It's 5.
Plenty to aim at from the free kick for Millwall. That was Robinson. Oh, there's a chance there for Steve Claridge, and he's got it. Millwall are in front. Getting late now for Southampton. Kevin Davis with the header. This is Anders Svensson. Now it's Joe Tessam. A chance on here. Good save, Warner. Oh, it's Kevin Davis. And Southampton equalise just in time. Millwall could have a break on here if they play it right. But Reed was surrounded, and it's gone the other way to Anders Svensson. And Oakley. And Oakley has done it again. It's his second of the night.
Here's Mullins. Oh, got it wrong between the two of them. And away goes Heskey with Owen coming up behind him. Heskey against Bertrand, and Bertrand makes the save. Oh dear, oh dear. Butterfield, that's a good clip cross, and they might have made something of it. They have made something of it. Gray has given Crystal Palace the lead. Gray gets past 2, there's a chance to kill it, stone dead, and it's an own goal. An own goal by Ancho.
You Jack? Yeah. Motti says you might have some information for me.
Everything you need is on this disc. If anybody asks you where it came from, it didn't come from me, all right?
Okay, John, I got the disc. I'll send you the files over as soon as I get back to my car.
by Beckham. Or Keown struggling, Brian Giggs. Giggs for Manchester United. The goal is gaping and Giggs has missed. One of the most glaring misses of Brian Giggs' career. And it was Edu. Oh, it's been deflected and it's in. Edu. To work with him. Wiltord. Good chance for Arsenal. There's Soon and Wiltord. And Arsenal go 2-0 up.
And now Thomas Sorensen faces Tommy Smith from 12 yards. And it's saved by Sorensen. I'm not sure that Mike Dean isn't going to ask for it to be taken again. He is. Now Sorensen against Smith, part 2. And this time Smith scores.
Here is Marsden. And it's all over now.
Derry corner kick. Julian Gray. Oh, well hit! Oh, what a strike! And opening up for Rihilati and for Butterfield, who's onside. Now can he find someone else? Johnson is there! It must be in! Black off the line by Mills! Goodness me, Rihilati over the bar! Crystal Palace incensed. Tommy Black thinks it crossed the line. And that looks like it went over the line before it hit Mills.
As soon as I shot, I knew it was a goal.
At the time, I thought it was 6 inches over the line, but having seen the replay, it was nearer to 2 feet.
Now Kuehl and Mullins, good turn by Harry Kuehl. Pretty much on his own. He might not need anyone. Harry Kuehl! Oh, fantastic goal! Burnley goal now would surely finish the cup tie as a contest. And in it goes! Oh, they've got it as well! Diallo's header. 3-0 Burnley. And no way back now for Fulham.
Motty, it's Jack. Call off the search. I know who stole the FA Cup.
Well, both teams now are just about to get underway to the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. That's the Arsenal team hotel and the Arsenal bus. The players are just getting on it. There you go. There's Dennis Bergkamp. David Seaman. Will it be his last game for Arsenal? Ashley Cole's got a few more games left in him. Arsene Wenger behind, looks very relaxed. Supporters waving them on their way. The Southampton team bus is also just about leaving their hotel. One man who's already here is the Southampton chairman, Rupert Lowe. He's with Mark Bright.
Rupert, the day's finally arrived. How nervous are you?
Well, I'm not nervous. I'm just very proud of what we've achieved and looking forward to the game. And I just had a look at the pitch, and it looks wonderful.
Well, you mentioned the pitch. What about the roof? First
well, the roof's
FA Cup
shut.
final?
I've been to a League Cup final here between Blackburn and Spurs where the roof was shut, and I think history says that with the roof shut it favours the underdog. So
it's been a long time since the underdog, I think 95 or something like that, won in the cup final. Are you hoping to change that?
We're intending to, yeah. And we've come here to win, and but more importantly, we've come here to have a sporting day out with some good football, hopefully, and hopefully the best team will win, and we think that should be us.
Being around the city, it seems like it means more to Southampton supporters than it does to Arsenal. There's a bit of blasé with the Arsenal fans, but Southampton, it looks like they really mean something to them.
The city has been outstanding. I mean, our supporters they're great people anyway, but I think they've had a whale of a time over the last month. And I gather, I didn't come down today, but I gather all the bridges on the way here were people were cheering, and there are banners hanging out wishing the team well. And the spirit has been tremendous. So flags, pennants, it's been a wonderful lead up to the final.
And Gordon Strachan, he's taking the club in the direction you obviously hope it's heading in.
It's been a long season, but we were fortunate on the last day to beat Man City and finish 8th. I think it was a deserved finish. I think we've played some very good football this year, and we could have finished as low as 13th, but I think 8th was probably a just position for us to finish in. And the cup has put a lot of pressure on the club. There's huge amounts of media interest,
Welcome pressure, though.
Welcome pressure, but it is pressure nevertheless, and it's difficult to concentrate on the job of playing football. I mean, it's very flattering, but a club like us is used to the pressures of Premier League media demands, but when you get the cup, it's, you know, it brings us to a new level.
Well, I mean, Southampton, whatever happens today, have had a marvellous season. To finish in the top half.
8th in the Premier League. Yeah. Magnificent. Yeah. Take it all into consideration. Move to a new stadium.
There was a day where you used to tip them for relegation every season.
Those days are well gone. Those are too many custard pies in the face for that now. Move to a new stadium. Got a relatively new manager, Gordon Strachan, but all the time that obviously they've had to finance the stadium, he's managed to be able, Rupert Lowe's been able, and the board, be able to finance the team, been to introduce new players. They've got a nice way of playing, and I think, you know, they obviously 8th in the league is a fantastic achievement. I don't necessarily agree when he says we're under pressure now because it's a cup final. Yeah. Best pressure that you can have, that you're in the cup final. And the great thing as well, the amount of money they can make and have made from this competition, and you would think would only strengthen the case.
He was saying that interesting because we had a look yesterday at the pitch, and it was only laid on Thursday. We're not so sure it just might cut up.
I've been here a few times, Gary, and patchwork quilt comes to mind, and you know, when you pull out, you can see you can spot the joins basically. And there's been quite a lot of rain this morning before they close the roof. It'll be one of those that takes big divots up as well. So I think maybe in terms of the game that might suit Southampton.
Yeah, a leveller.
Yeah, a leveller because
an unlevel pitch is a leveller.
Absolutely, dear boy. Yeah. And you know, because you know the really good teams, you've got to take an extra touch. You take an extra touch, it's a split second longer. And if Southampton are aggressive round about midfield and they get at Arsenal, which I think is
a lot will depend on how they handle the occasion, won't it? I mean, they can it'll rise to the occasion, or it might be a bit too much for them.
Well, you see, when we've just seen the shots of the Arsenal boys leaving, and you know you're pensive, you know the team, you're sort of concentrating on the game, and this is a team and with players who are used to fantastic occasion, World Cup finals, etc. So I don't think it will affect Arsenal as much as it will affect Southampton.
OK, Mark. Now, you might have heard it a few times this week, but it's 27 years now since Southampton won the Cup for the only time in their history.
Wish them the very best of luck.
Oh, definitely. I think they've got a good chance.
Not the Saints.
There's only one team to win.
Southampton.
No, you must be joking. United. And what's the score going to be?
4-0.
Well, Jimmy, a great moment for these young players, is it not?
Marvellous. I'm interested in the fashions here. The ladies at home, I'm sure, will be too.
Laurie, you said you'd have a feeling on the day. It's only an hour to go. What's the feeling?
Look at that bunny lad. That's a feeling. Yeah, magic. How do you feel, John?
I feel all right, yes. Quite relaxed.
You're looking tremendous. Great.
Bobby Stokes, who was talking this morning about getting a hat-trick.
Yeah, I'm still confident of getting it. Even more so now I'm here. It's nice to be here. Great.
There's no way that I can see Southampton winning. I was a little bit misquoted in saying that it would be 6. I certainly think they'll win, probably not by that many, but by a few.
We shall have very red faces at the end if Southampton win, because I've gone for Manchester United too, and I think they'll win narrowly, maybe by about 2-1.
Number 1, Ian Turner, age 23, goalkeeper.
Pearson, Koppel. Right, and Turner, and they're looking for the comeback, and nobody was there to put it back in. A nightmare start for the goalkeeper.
Number 8, Mike Shannon, age 27, forward.
Now McCallion for Shannon, a brilliant ball. And Stepney, the most important cup save he's made.
Number 11, Bobby Stokes, age 25, forward.
McCallion to Stokes, who's onside. 1-0. Southampton go mad. And Stokes, by scoring the first goal in this final, wins for himself a car. And he said he'd already booked driving lessons. And the whistle has gone. And Larry McBennamy and Southampton take the cup for the first time in their history. Peter Rodrigues salutes the Southampton supporters and lives this moment of triumph.
What day is it today?
What day is it today, then?
All Saints Day.
I like it.
I'm not going to remind anybody who said 6 goals. I shan't do
There'll
that.
be plenty of it. There'll be plenty of it, don't
We're all in the same boat.
I've missed about 20 in the last 3 games. So it's about time I knocked one in for the boys.
I deserve a car.
Well, not really, boss. I'll just take a £3 grand.
Well done, Laurie. Your team and you were marvellous.
See, pundits were getting it wrong then, and they're still getting it wrong now. And as Mick Shannon told us earlier, a few of the heroes from '76 are around the corner enjoying a pre-final lunch, and Ivan Gaskell is with them.
Well, Gary, the last Southampton captain to lift the FA Cup came from Cardiff. I wonder if there's an omen there. He's here, Peter Rodrigues. The boys of '76 are back together.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you looking so well. What a big day for Southampton, then.
It's fabulous. After 27 years, it's long overdue from our point of view, because it's nice to get back together and say hi to each other. And being my hometown, it's absolutely unbelievable. Aussie is at it again. I went down the stadium and it's awesome, and I would love to be out there today.
You've got a nice suntan. You didn't get that in South Wales, did you?
Certainly not over the last 2 days, no. I live in Spain now since last August, and it's nice down there and relaxing, but so desperate to get back and see the boys, be in your hometown, and hopefully Southampton can do it today.
You've already said that the quiet man of the team was Nick Holmes. We're going to force a few words from him now. Nick, Southampton born and bred, this is a lovely day for you and for the city, isn't it?
Yeah, smashing. I'm so pleased I'm here. I'm so pleased to be here, and hopefully we'll get the cup at the end of the day.
I must say that the Southampton win in '76 was my first memory of the FA Cup final. I'm sorry to throw that on you, make you feel a bit older, but you've shaved since then, I think.
Yeah. Well, I saw some awful pictures in one of the national newspapers yesterday of all of us. So I thought we'd better have a quick shave today.
Peter Osgood's with us. You might have spotted that already. Peter, great to see you again, and isn't it lovely to be with the boys again?
It's fantastic, yeah. We've got great memories. It comes around every year, but to be here with the Saints in the final again is superb. As Pedro says, you know, we enjoyed it in our year, and everybody says, I hope they don't win. We're like, we want them to win. We're Southampton fans, you know. We're right behind them. I've been there all season and watched them play, and they've done ever so well. They really have. Great season, and hopefully they'll do it for us today, yeah.
And I'm sure all of you will give a silent toast, possibly more than that, to a certain Mr. B. Stokes, who isn't with us today, of course, sadly.
Yeah, it is a sad thing. Also our coach Jim Clooney died a few days ago, so yeah, it's sad, but you know, they'll be looking down on us, and hopefully, like the Saints, we'll all be together. They're still here in spirit.
And very quickly, around the three of you, who's going to win? You all feel Saints, really?
Of course.
No danger.
Yeah.
No danger. Yeah. It could be our day, as in '76.
Well, thanks very much. It's lovely to see you. Good luck.
Cheers.
Thanks very much.
They look well, don't they?
I don't think the wine weight has made the table, has it? Obviously, 27 years. Yeah, it'd be a fantastic lunch to be at. But yes, and they all are extremely confident that Southampton can win it. But you look at that, and it's obviously Mike Shannon, Peter Osgood. I mean, you know, they say that was a massive upset, but two great players themselves alone. A good side as well they were.
Yeah, it's never a cup final unless you see a few buses driving around, is it?
No. And keep disappearing, especially when we're showing the shots to the nation. But there you go. Oh, they're in.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sealed roof.
Yeah, I mean, I've been here a few times, Gary. I mean, the thing with the roof, it just adds to the atmosphere.
I think it's good here anyway.
It's fantastic. And, you know, I think the great thing about this place is the people of Cardiff want you to be here, and you can feel it. And that also adds to the mix as well. But there'll be some nerves on that bus at the moment.
The driver, probably, more than anybody.
Turning around the corner, yeah.
But, I mean, this is always a nervous time, isn't it? Especially for, I mean, these players, none of them have played in a cup final before.
No, and I would say probably for virtually every single player, the biggest game of their lives. Some may go on to even bigger and better things, some may not. So I think, you know, you've played in it, I've played in it. You're just very, very conscious that you don't want to make a mistake, you want to play well, you don't want to let anybody down, and obviously while it's a collective thing as well, you look after yourself first and foremost, and hopefully add to the mix. And you know, I think
Dennis Rofe, I'll play with him at left.
Yeah, Dennis, yeah, he didn't take many prisoners, Dennis Rofe, but I think it needs a big performance from Southampton today to win this game.
Yeah, they'll be walking a few nerves at the moment as they march up the steps.
Well,
Those players will turn right.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with them as well is, you know, we said they know the team. And really, it's how do you kill the time now before the game actually starts? I always thought that was the worst bit. You used to get here so early. You know the team, you know exactly what you're expected of. And
big day for him, Niemi. Good goalkeeper as well.
Very, very, very good goalkeeper. A very shrewd bit of business. I mean, Paul Jones as well, I think, just coming up behind him, he's also a very good goalkeeper. Yeah. So for Southampton, it's a big day for Niemi. And they're always saying now that, and I think it's a sort of loose talk, is the fact he could go somewhere else, Niemi, just about to play in the cup final because everybody wants him.
John Motson there, a little shot of John.
Wouldn't be the cup final without
big
a shot. Big
expectancy for James Beattie there, just walked off.
Gary, he'll be looking at it, he'll think, you know, who's going to play at the back for Arsenal? Keown, we know, maybe everyone's saying that Lusney might play. He'll fancy his chances against Lusney, James Beattie. He's had a great season. Great season.
I'll tell you something, they've got a big squad. There's about 60 players just walked off that bus.
Have we not seen them twice?
Yeah. We've got a few players, a few supporters actually next door as well, with O'Leary.
All right, back here in the Star Bar. Hi guys, how are we doing?
Very well.
Jonathan and Alan, how are things?
I'm fine.
How excited are we today? How nervous are you today?
My heart's pounding. I've never been to a match indoors. It's really echoey.
What do you reckon?
I'm not a big fan of the air horn.
No, and it's breaking off these walls like there's no tomorrow. That's not a lookalike.
Maybe they can look like, and I'm finding it hard to concentrate.
Are you a bit nervous about our back four today, or not?
Yeah, because the two of them that are playing are injured, or three of them I think are injured, and Sol Campbell obviously not there. So we expect Southampton to score 2, in which case we'll have to get 3, won't we? Or 4.
You'll have to.
I know you're nodding, but you're actually a Manchester United fan. So is this just like your second home?
Well, you know, it's...
Our second home, they've only ever played here once.
I know. But, yeah, we just make the most of it now. You know, Wembley isn't ready, so any big home games, we come along and watch it. So we've gone for the underdog today. Sure. We've gone for Southampton, so, you know. But they're very tense, the Arsenal fans, I can notice. They've got everything to lose, haven't they? Everything to lose, these boys. Expected to win. So Southampton are really looking forward to it.
Boys, have a great day today.
Cheers.
2 Davises there, and we've got shots now of the Arsenal coach. There they go. Oh, well, he was there just for a brief second. They're on the motorway. He's just carving that car up there. But wouldn't you just know it, though? I mean, you wait for hours for a bus and then 2.
How many times you rehearse that? I mean, the expectancy's on Arsenal, isn't it? And they are under far more pressure for today's game than certainly Southampton are. And we've talked about no Vieira, no Campbell, 1 or 2 others, but you still look along the team that they can put out today. Outstanding players, world-class players, and I think everybody expects them to win.
Well, there's not much traffic on the roads here. They look quite good there, didn't it, for the fans getting to the ground?
Because they're already in here, most of them, aren't they? Certainly in the time that we got here, but. I just hope it's a good game insofar as that, you know, for the neutral. And it's a long, long time, you know, since we've had a shock in the FA Cup final. You probably go back to what, 1988, Wimbledon, Liverpool.
Have you been doing some acting lessons, by the way?
I need some.
Because we're about to find out in the final episode of our 3-part series.
Previously in the FA Cup.
Someone's stolen the FA Cup, apparently, and if they don't get it back, there's talk of them cancelling the final.
Everything you need is on this disc. If anybody asks you where it came from, don't mention me.
Call for the search. I know who stole the FA Cup. The following takes place between the quarter-finals and the semi-finals of this season's FA Cup.